So Shroud of the Avatar is a medieval fantasy role-playing game that plays everywhere from solo player, it's a traditional offline solo player role-playing game, but you can also play online, either by yourself or with your friends, or in a very open MMO-like play style. And that's wrapped up in a game play style that people, if they played any of my historical games, any of the Ultimas or Tabula Rasa, will be very familiar in that it's a very sandbox, open-ended, but very detailed reality engine for you to come live and play in. One of the best parts of developing Shroud of the Avatar is how active our community is and how talented our community is. For example, the community wanted to start an internet radio station, which we said, sure, go right ahead. So at first it started as an internet radio station just on a website, Avatar's Radio. But then the community said, what if we build you the 3D art for a radio and write the Unity code to allow the Avatar's Radio to play as an object in the game? And we said, knock yourselves out. And so they did that. They actually made a 3D model, they actually wrote the code, delivered it to our offices, and now you can go in this game and in almost every bar in the world, and at sporting events and PvP competitions, there's a radio simulcast of all the events happening in game. Another great one is all the community created events, you know, not only PvP tournaments, but maze building competitions, decorating competitions, big role-playing, welcoming quests, where they take beginners on into the game and teach them all the different facets of the game. The community has really done just an amazing job of contributing to life in the game, as well as the physical game itself. We get a great deal of help both from the community at large. For example, you know, all of the music in the game, or almost all, 95% of the music in the game, has been crowdsourced through our community, for which they receive payment. They do get a bounty for those contributions, the ones we select. Some art and some other things. Plus we do some independent contracting of cinematics and other activities. But 30 people in-house, you know, a few dozen contractors, and a vast community of supporters contributing into the game. You know, the date we've always talked about internally is trying to wrap it up by the end of this year. And you know, every now and then we find ourselves well outside that year, and we try to do our best to resequence our priorities to bring it back into the year. So we're fighting very hard to keep it in the year or close to the end of this year. But you know, we'll see how it goes. We're only we think we're really in that final stretch of polish and map building now, so we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. But it's getting closer every month.